Welcome back to Ye Olde Metal Show.
That's right, motherfuckers. It's season 2. We're back in action, and today we're taking a deeper look into thrash metal.
Yeah, and we're also going to explore the deep and the dark place of a mosh pit and all of its etiquettes and history.
So hang on to your seats. This is going to be a wild ride. Speed, aggression, and power. These are the elements that came together to form the new style of metal in the early 80s that kicked the asses of all the glam bands. This is thrash metal. This is the metal that paved the way for the future.
To me, glam rock stands for glam means gay LA music.
Early thrash bands such as Diamond Head and Venom set the stepping stones for thrash's eternal triumph. With the speed of punk and the darkness of Black Sabbath, thrash metal was born and quickly developed into something we know as the Big Four: Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. The four names that you know as thrash metal today. Each of the Big Four in thrash metal had their own reign. It started and influenced new genres in metal. Slayer bringing forth themes of death, Megadeth bringing thrash to a faster and more aggressive level, Anthrax bringing forth rap metal and groove metal, and Metallica bringing metal into the mainstream. Thrash metal. It wiped out the glam metal of the 80s, brought metal to the mainstream in the 90s, and took it to all new heights throughout the modern age. Tune in next week for our episode on groove metal.
Thank you there, Brian, for the interesting knowledge and storylines on there. Thrash metal, love it there. I'm going to talk about something that is a dark and a beautiful place when it comes to metal, and it's the mosh pit. Yes, ever since the beginning of metal, there has been some guys that want to get down with the metal music so much that they want to push themselves around or do whatever they want to do to get into the music. Yes, headbanging was not enough for them. Moshing, all different styles, is great. From hardcore pits where people are doing specific moves, if that's your fancy, you go for it. If you like the old school pits where you're pushing around and you're getting in the dirt and all sorts of shit, that's good for you too. If you ever experienced a circle pit, rock and fucking roll. If you ever experienced a wall of death, there's all sorts of mosh pits. I'm going to run through some etiquette and a little bit of thumb rules, you run off of on a mosh pit, Number 1, don't get in a pit unless you know you're going to get hurt, because you are. Everybody who gets in a pit will get a little bumped, will get a little bruised, shit will happen. Another thing here, respect the people on the outside of the pit. If they're on the outside of the pit and it's a little crazy, they're throwing up an arm or they're just kind of leaning back, respect that shit. If not, they could get hurt, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's their fault and shit happens. That's all I gotta say. Another thing is, women in a pit, you gotta watch out for them. Because either they're gonna be at you or you're gonna grab some ass and not know it. So just be careful out there. And number 4, just play it smart. Whatever pit you're in, whatever one you want to do, just be nice, be friendly. If you knock someone down, pick their ass up, smack them on the ass. Let's listen to metal. That was the etiquette on Mosh Pit. Welcome back to Ye Olde Metal Show. I got a great guest right now. His name is our Megadon, and he is our 1 billion year old fucking dinosaur dragon friend from the fucking fiery pits of hell. How you doing, our Megadon?
I am Armageddon!
Yes, you are. So how are you doing today, my metal dinosaur?
Fucking awesome!
What's your favorite metal band?
Dragon Force!
This week on Ye Olde Metal Show, we've been talking a whole hell of a lot about thrash metal, and we got some good buddies that's going to come on and talk with us about the thrash metal.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Here's an interview with our good friend Chad Tanner of Bishop.
And Brady McGowan, a freelance percussionist.
Brady, I'm going to hit you a little double question here. A, what was your first thrash metal album? And B, how did it influence your life?
Well, my first thrash metal album was, I think, Seasons in the Abyss or South of Heaven.
Slayer, good
From
choice.
Slayer,
Good choice.
yeah, when I was like 15 or 16.
Young age, good.
I heard that, and I went out and I killed 3 people, and I did a lot of meth, and I killed several more people, a couple of family members, and then I started worshiping Satan.
Well, that's a pretty soft story for a Slayer fan. Chad, what was your first metal album? Your first thrash metal album?
Oh, Slaughter the Soul by At the Gates.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I was fucking old. I was like 19,
Right on.
18, 19 when I found it. So
How did that change your life in any way?
it made it fucking awesome.
Like, good answer, good answer.
You know, everything good in my life just went better. So
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thrash metal amplifies your happiness.
yes,
Like sex.
yeah.
Like sex, but a little bit better. A
It's
little
like
faster.
musical sex.
Mm-hmm.
So Chad, I'm gonna kind of ask you, what was your segue into thrash there? What made thrash stand out over all the other metals? And Brady, that goes to you too after Chad's done.
Well, growing up, I used to play punk a lot, skateboard, so I was attracted to the speed element, but I also wanted some melody with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an easy transition. You know, and if you want to get kicked in the balls, you might as well get a kiss first. You know?
That's right, and that's totally true. Because skateboarding is all about thrash.
Thrash it up. What about you, Brady? What was it that caught your ear on thrash metal?
Well, like I said, my first thrash experience was Slayer. Of course, that led into Anthrax, and you know, just want to consider Metallica thrash metal. I got into Metallica like real heavy, and I don't know. It inspired me to like think of music as something that I can play and not something I have to listen to. And got when I was in band in high school and everything, and I was branching out into a bunch of different music. And then I hear about fucking Slayer. So I listened to Slayer, and Slayer kicked my ass. And I heard Raining Blood on Guitar Hero 3, and I was like, man, this is Slayer? So I went out and bought a bunch of Slayer albums.
Well, fuck yeah.
That's a great one. I want you to learn from that story, everybody. Because not all people are exposed to thrash metal. So go get a good thrash album
There are
today.
third world countries where thrash metal has not been heard of.
Sometimes the message in a story is deeper than what it sounds at first. So think about that.
So what was a couple dinner topics that was talked about over Thanksgiving and Christmas at you guys' holiday gatherings?
Trying to save up for a new guitar.
All right. What kind of guitar you going
That's
for?
always a hard one to do.
I'm going for the Ibanez Iron Label.
Right on. We love Ibanez guitars here at Ye Olde Metal Show.
Yes, we do.
So I've already got 15 electrics hanging up, and I got a rack. So my wife's like, "You don't need another fucking guitar." And I'm like, "You didn't need that vanity you got, did you? But you wanted it. You got it."
That's right. Everybody in life works for things.
What about you, Brady? How were your holidays?
Well, I was like him. I was in the market for a new guitar. Hadn't picked up a guitar in forever. I was wanting to, also, I was looking for an Ibanez guitar as well, and it was Ibanez Artcore. And then I go to my grandparents' house for our annual Christmas breakfast, and I go downstairs and I see a green little Japanese guitar or hollow body sitting there with an old ass tube amp, and I was like, all right, so Merry Christmas. Pussies.
That's a heartwarming story and metal at the same time.
Is there any questions you'd like to ask us?
Y'all want to interview us?
Would you like to interview us?
Yes.
Oh no.
What was your guys' first thrash band you got into?
Ooh.
And why did you love them?
Ben,
All right.
go for it.
I'm actually going to kind of take off Brady here. I was about 14 or 15 years old, and I went to Florida. My mom's boyfriend was really into metal at the time, and I was kind of, touching on the subjects here and there with Iron Maiden and, Pantera and, just the regular, Black Sabbath stuff. But he actually gave me a few CDs of Slayer, burnt CDs of Slayer, dude. and that got me into just like the whole, just like the way the songs laid out, the drums in it and everything, and fucking, I really got into Slayer like really hardcore for about 2 good years, you know what I'm saying? And fucking, just the way like his vocals, you know, are right there with like the choppiness of the guitar and everything, his bass playing, dude, it's just like, that's like some brutal ass shit, you know what I'm saying? And I always got into other bands, like Metallica, that are thrashy, and Anthrax, but Slayer always just kind of stood out as like being the most like extreme of them all, you know, and that's why I like Slayer. That's what kind of got me into thrash.
Right on, I dig that.
Yes.
My first thrash album was definitely Ride the Lightning by Metallica. Growing up as a kid, I was really into hard rock, and as a guitarist, I wanted to play some challenging music, and I came across Seek and Destroy from Kill 'Em All, and that was one of my first metal songs I learned on the guitar, and I picked up Ride the Lightning, the full album, and ever since then it's been one of my favorite metal albums. Still rocking it. And yeah, that's pretty much spawned my whole interest in metal in general.
That's a good point. You said you wanted to play something challenging. Same instance, you playing punk.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I got the speed, fuck yeah.
Need a
But
little
I want
bit.
to push the envelope because this shit's boring.
Yeah.
I'm tired of playing 3 chords. I want to fucking shred.
Exactly. I was playing hard rock, and I got to a point to where I needed a little more.
Yeah.
Thrash metal was it.
That's a good one right there, you
Yeah,
know.
that was good.
It's a great
I
one.
feel good about this.
It's like real, man. Can I do a shout out to the Delta guys?
Go for it.
Just want to do a shout out to all my Delta guys deployed right now, downrange, missing Christmas with families, getting blown up and shit. You guys stay strong, kick some ass, and also my fellow medics, don't be a dumbass.
Stay metal out there.
Yeah.
Keep it real, Ye Olde Metal Show.
Hail Satan.
That about wraps it up for this week's episode of Ye Olde Metal Show. Any last words from our guests here?
Yes. Joke of the day.
The joke of the day.
Ooh.
Alright. How do you catch a unique rabbit?
Anybody?
In the back there.
Yep.
Nope, that's not it. Unique up on it.
Ooh. That was the joke of the day.
Hope you like thrash metal. Next week's groove metal, so tune in, motherfuckers, next Friday. Don't forget it.
You will smell my butthole. Ah!